Yeah, hold up, NBA gang. Did StephenASmith just say that Vanessa Bryant is going bankrupt? Yeah, you heard me right. Vanessa Bryant, the woman who stood tall after losing Kobe, the woman who built foundations, carried legacies, and became a living symbol of strength. Now suddenly, Stephen A is saying she's broke, done, finished, but is there any truth to this? Or is this just another case of sports media turning gossip into gold? Tonight, we're not just reacting, we're dissecting. We're digging through the receipts, the rumors, and the reality. Because when Stephen A speaks, the internet listens. But NBA gang, we don't just listen. We investigate, we fact check, and we break it down, piece by piece. The legacy of Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant's name carries a weight that goes far beyond being Kobe's widow. After that unimaginable tragedy in 2020, when Kobe and Gianna's helicopter crashed, the world expected her to vanish into grief. Instead, she did the opposite. She stepped into the fire carrying not just her family's heartbreak, but also the legacy of the Black Mamba. She became the face of the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Foundation, pouring energy into scholarships and opportunities for young women in sports. She fought battles in court, stood against institutions when they disrespected Kobe and Gianna's memory, and did all of it under a spotlight no one would ever want. But Vanessa didn't just fight, she rebuilt. She turned moments of devastation into platforms of empowerment. From honoring Kobe and Gigi's legacy through charitable initiatives to raising her 3 daughters with strength and grace, she became living proof of resilience. Every step she's taken shows that she's not only protecting a legacy, but creating her own. This isn't the story of someone collapsing into bankruptcy. This is the story of a woman who took pain and turned it into power. Enter StephenASmith. Now, let's talk about Stephen A, the Shakespeare of sports hot takes. His booming voice has turned First Take into a theater, where basketball debates sound like courtroom dramas. If LeBron changes his socks, Stephen A can spin it into betrayal against the basketball gods. That's his role. He's the showman, the entertainer, the man who feeds the headlines. And let's be real, he thrives on controversy. His energy, his cadence, the way he leans forward and repeats himself, it's designed to make every take feel like gospel. But when he throws out a line like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa Bryant is on the verge of bankruptcy," it's less about fact and more about fireworks. The issue is, fireworks fade. Words don't. A phrase like bankruptcy has weight. It doesn't just entertain, it lingers, it stains, and it risks rewriting someone's reality in the public eye. The claim versus the receipts. Did Stephen A show us court documents? Did he cite financial filings? Did he pull out hard data? Spoiler alert, nope. He just dropped the word bankruptcy like it was a buzzer beater in overtime. Loud, dramatic, but without anything behind it. But let's pause here. Bankruptcy in the US isn't some secret code you whisper in back rooms. It's a legal process, one that leaves a paper trail as clear as a fast break. Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13. Each one is logged in federal court databases. You can literally look it up. And when we checked, nothing. No filings, no paperwork. Nada. If Vanessa had filed, it wouldn't take a private investigator or Tom Cruise hanging from the ceiling, Mission Impossible style, to find it. It would already be plastered across legal records. And here's the kicker. Vanessa Bryant's financial reality doesn't scream broke. Kobe's estate was valued at over $600 million. Even accounting for taxes, lawsuits, and life's expenses, that's a fortune most people couldn't burn through in multiple lifetimes. Add endorsements, investments, and the foundation's assets, and her footing is secure. Saying she's bankrupt is like saying Steph Curry forgot how to shoot threes. Technically possible, sure, but in the real world, come on, never happening. Why the media loves this? Here's the bigger issue. It's not just about Vanessa. It's about the machine of modern sports media. Drama sells, outrage trends, hot takes bring clicks, and respect, too often, that gets tossed aside for views. The louder the headline, the faster it spreads, and accuracy becomes secondary. Think about it. If Vanessa Bryant really were bankrupt, TMZ would blast it across the front page with flashing sirens. ESPN would stretch it into week-long segments with analysts dissecting every financial move. The Wall Street Journal would break down her assets line by line like a financial autopsy. But what happened instead? Silence. Crickets. No headlines, no deep dives, no investigative reports. And that silence speaks louder than Stephen A's microphone ever could. It tells you everything you need to know. This story doesn't exist in reality. It exists only in the imagination of a sports entertainer chasing ratings. Vanessa's true story: strength over scandal. Instead of focusing on false rumors, let's talk about Vanessa's real story. She faced unimaginable tragedy in 2020, losing not just a husband, but also a daughter. Most people would have collapsed under that kind of pain. Vanessa didn't. She went toe-to-toe with the LA County Sheriff's Department when they mishandled the crash photos, and she won, proving that even in grief, she refused to let injustice stand. She built scholarships to carry Kobe and Gianna's dreams forward, turning heartbreak into opportunity for others. She stood tall at public events, spoke with courage, and reminded the world that strength isn't about never falling, it's about always rising. This isn't a weakness. This isn't someone falling apart. This is resilience on full display. A mother raising 3 daughters, running foundations, fighting legal battles, and still carrying herself with grace. To reduce all that to one cheap word, bankruptcy, isn't just wrong, it's insulting. It's an erasure of everything she's built, everything she's endured, and everything she continues to stand for. Stephen A's role in the drama. Now, don't get it twisted, Stephen A isn't the villain here. He's a performer. His job is to stir the pot, to turn ordinary sports updates into debates that feel like national emergencies. He thrives on being loud, opinionated, and dramatic because that's what keeps people tuning in. And honestly, he's brilliant at it. You may disagree with him 9 times out of 10, but you'll still hear him out. That's the Stephen A effect. But here's where it gets messy. In chasing the biggest headlines, sometimes he pushes the boundary between entertainment and irresponsibility. Dropping the word bankruptcy about someone like Vanessa Bryant isn't just another hot take, it's a narrative that sticks in people's minds. He's like that friend we all know, the one who exaggerates everything. You tell him you stubbed your toe and suddenly he's yelling, "Bro, you're gonna need amputation." That's the energy Stephen A brought here, and sure, it's funny until it's not. Because when that exaggeration targets a grieving mother, a philanthropist, and someone carrying a global legacy, the line between showmanship and recklessness gets dangerously blurred. His words don't just echo, they ripple, shaping public perception in ways he might not even intend. The final verdict. So let's call this one like a ref at the buzzer. The claim: Vanessa Bryant is bankrupt. The evidence: none. The reality: wealth intact, legacy strong, no filings in sight. Verdict: Stephen A shot his shot and bricked it. Hard. NBA gang, we're calling this one an airball, not even close to the rim. Now, I gotta hear from you. Do you think Stephen A crossed the line? Or was this just Stephen A doing what he does best, making noise for ratings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this isn't just about Vanessa, it's about what kind of media we choose to support. If you liked how we broke this down, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay locked in. Because NBA gang, we've got more myth busting, more breakdowns, and more real talk coming your way. This is NBA gang. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.